Admiral Zexathara clicked her mandibles in what passed for laughter among the Vorthak, as she observed the human fleet through the view screen of her flagship. The collection of vessels before her looked like relics from a museum, angular, brutish, things made of simple steel and ceramic composites, bristling with what appeared to be primitive kinetic weapons. "Look at them," she chittered to her tactical officer, "still using projectile weapons and chemical propulsion. Our energy shields will absorb their pathetic attacks like morning dew." The Galactic Council had warned the humans to cease their EU expansion into Sector 7, but Earth's response had been typical human stubbornness. They'd sent their fleet anyway. Now the combined forces of three Council species, the Vorthak, the crystalline Nexari, and the gaseous Phelim, had assembled to teach these upstart mammals a lesson. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the UES Indomitable, her weathered, hands clasped behind her back as she studied the enemy formation. The alien ships were elegant things, smooth curves of living metal that seemed to flow like liquid mercury, crackling with exotic energy signatures that made her instruments sing warnings. "They're beautiful," her tactical officer, Lieutenant Rodriguez, admitted quietly. "So are sharks," Chen replied. "Doesn't mean I want to swim with them. Status report." "All ships reporting ready, Captain. The Yamato has her heavy guns locked on target, and the smaller cruisers are in position." Chen nodded. The human fleet was outnumbered 3-1, but they hadn't come here to lose. "Signal all ships. Remember what we're fighting for. Our colonies, our freedom, and our right to choose our own path among the stars." The Vorthak Admiral opened communications, her translator rendering her clicking speech into harsh mechanical English. "Humans, you have violated Galactic Council space. Surrender now, and we will merely relocate your pathetic colonies to more suitable locations." Chen's response was characteristically blunt. "Admiral, you're welcome to try and make us." The alien fleet moved first, their ships accelerating impossibly fast, reality seeming to bend around them as exotic physics propelled them forward. Brilliant lances of energy erupted from their weapons. Particle beams that could slice through mountains, plasma bolts hot enough to melt asteroids, and strange purple beams that seemed to twist space itself. The human ship's shields flared and died almost instantly. The Indomitable shuddered as alien fire raked her hull, scorching armor plating that had been forged in the foundries of Luna. "Shields down," Rodriguez reported. "Hull breaches on decks 4 and 7. Admiral Zexathara watched with satisfaction as the primitive human vessels took hit after hit. Their crude energy barriers had failed within seconds, just as predicted. "Cease fire," she ordered. "They've learned their lesson. Open communications and demand their—" Her words died as she saw the human ships continuing to advance, their scarred hulls glowing cherry red from impacts, but their formation unchanged. Warning klaxons began to wail across her bridge. "Admiral?" Her tactical officer's voice carried a note of confusion. "The human fleet is still operational. They're still coming." Captain Chen wiped blood from a cut on her forehead and grinned fiercely. "Their fancy weapons are powerful, but they're energy-based. They don't have the mass to deliver kinetic impact through our armor." She turned to her crew. "All ships return fire. Show them what a few thousand years of perfecting the art of throwing rocks can do." The human fleet opened fire. The sound was different. Not the clean hum of energy weapons, but the deep primal roar of explosive charges hurling metal projectiles at significant fractions of the speed of light. The Yamato's main guns alone launched shells the size of small buildings, each one a masterwork of engineering containing exotic matter cores that would make any physicist weep with joy. The first salvo struck the lead Vorthak vessel. Its living, metal hull, evolved to redistribute energy impacts, simply wasn't designed to handle the brutal physics of a 12-ton tungsten penetrator moving at 30% light speed. The shell punched through the ship like tissue paper, the exotic matter core detonating inside and turning elegant alien architecture into expanding clouds of superheated plasma. "Impossible!" Admiral Zexathara shrieked as her formation began to come apart. The human projectiles ignored their shields entirely, crude kinetic energy that couldn't be deflected or absorbed. just brutal momentum transfer that her ship's elegant designs couldn't counter. A Nixari crystalline cruiser tried to maneuver away from the human fire, its fractal hull beautiful in the starlight. 3 destroyer-class railgun rounds caught it amidships, and the alien vessel shattered like a wine glass dropped on concrete, its crystal matrix unable to handle the shock waves. The Phelim gas ships fared no better. Their atmospheric hulls evolved to contain their gaseous crews in the void, simply couldn't maintain integrity when solid shot tore through them at relativistic speeds. They died silently, their crews scattered, to the vacuum in colorful, toxic clouds. Captain Chen watched the alien fleet disintegrate through the smoke drifting across her bridge. "This is the problem with being advanced," she said to Rodriguez, who was binding a wounded crewman's arm. "You start thinking elegant solutions are always better than simple ones." The surviving alien ships began to retreat, their formation broken and their confidence shattered. Admiral Zexathara's flagship limped away, its living metal hull scarred by human fire, while emergency broadcasts flooded the communications bands in a dozen alien languages. "Let them run," Chen ordered, "and let them spread the word. Humanity doesn't build pretty ships. We build ships that work. And when the shooting starts, pretty doesn't matter. Only who's still standing when the smoke clears." The human fleet regrouped, their battered vessels already beginning repair work as they held position over the colonies they'd come to protect. Behind them, the lights of human settlements twinkled like stars against the dark of space, a reminder of what they fought for, and why simple, brutal effectiveness would always triumph over elegant sophistication when survival was on the line. In the depths of space, the aliens had learned a hard truth: never underestimate a species that spent millions of years learning to throw rocks really, really well.